The air is thick, heavy. It presses down on you, suffocating. This is the reality for Amazon warehouse workers in Indiana, where a brutal heat wave has turned their workplace into an inferno. Temperatures soar, but relief remains out of reach. Basic necessities like water and bathroom breaks are treated as privileges, not rights. This is not just uncomfortable, it's dangerous, and it's inhumane. We've heard whispers of these conditions for years, the dark underbelly of Amazon's rapid expansion. Now, the whispers are shouts, impossible to ignore. The workers, the backbone of this multi-billion-dollar corporation, are suffering. These are not the air-conditioned offices of Silicon Valley, where executives enjoy catered lunches and ergonomic chairs. This is the unforgiving reality of manual labor in the 21st century, where profits are prioritized over people. The workers, many struggling to make ends meet, have no choice but to endure. They are trapped in a system that exploits their vulnerability, their desperation for a paycheck. This is a story of corporate greed and worker exploitation, a story that demands to be told. The warehouse is a labyrinth of conveyor belts and towering shelves. The pace is relentless, driven by algorithms and quotas. Workers rush to meet impossible demands, their bodies pushed to the limit. The heat is oppressive, a physical weight on their chests, sweat drips, soaking uniforms, a constant reminder of their exertion. But water breaks are scarce, treated as an inconvenience rather than a necessity. Workers are forced to choose between their health and their jobs. Restrooms are another battleground. The need for a break is often met with suspicion, a challenge to productivity. Workers describe the humiliation of being timed, their movements tracked, their basic human needs scrutinized. This is not about efficiency, it's about control. It's about dehumanizing workers, transforming them into cogs in a machine. The message is clear. Your well-being is irrelevant. Only your output matters. I felt like I was going to faint, Sarah, a single mother of two, tells me, her voice trembling with exhaustion. I asked for a water break, but they told me to wait my turn. I could barely stand. Sarah's story is not unique. Across the warehouse, similar stories abound, tales of dehydration, heat exhaustion, and utter despair. John, a young man with dreams of college, describes the constant pressure, the fear of losing his job if he slows down. They treat us like robots, he says, his voice filled with bitterness. Like we don't have families to feed, like our lives don't matter. These are the human faces behind the statistics, the individuals whose suffering fuels Amazon's relentless pursuit of profit. These are the stories that pierce through the corporate spin, revealing the harsh reality of Amazon's workforce. Section 4, the price of speed, heat stroke, dehydration, and despair. The consequences of this neglect are dire. Heat stroke, a life-threatening condition, is a constant threat. Dehydration leads to dizziness, confusion, and an inability to focus. The relentless pace takes its toll on both body and mind. Workers report chronic pain, insomnia, and anxiety. The warehouse, designed for efficiency, becomes a breeding ground for illness and despair. The human body was not designed for this kind of abuse. The long-term health consequences are still unfolding, but the evidence is clear. This is a recipe for disaster. Musculoskeletal disorders, cardiovascular disease, mental health problems, the list goes on. The human cost of Amazon's relentless drive for efficiency is immeasurable. Section 5, Corporate Greed versus Human Rights, a call for action. This is not just about Amazon. This is about a system that prioritizes profit over people. A system that allows corporations to exploit workers with impunity. This is about the erosion of workers' rights, the dismantling of unions, the relentless pursuit of shareholder value at any cost. Silence is complicity. We cannot stand idly by while workers suffer in the name of convenience and low prices. We must demand better. Demand that Amazon be held accountable for the well-being of its workers. Demand that they provide safe working conditions, access to water and rest breaks, and a living wage. Demand that they treat their workers with dignity and respect, not as disposable cogs in a machine. Section 6, Towards a More Humane Workplace, Demands for Change. This is a call to action for all of us. Consumers, lawmakers, citizens, we all have a role to play. Boycott Amazon until they change their ways. Contact your elected officials and demand legislation that protects workers' rights. Speak out against corporate greed and exploitation. The power lies in our collective action. Let us amplify the voices of Amazon workers, share their stories, and demand justice. Let us create a world where every worker is valued, respected, and protected. The time for change is now. If you like this video, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and share so we can keep you up to date on what's important in our tiny fraction of the universe. And as always, take care.